I don't like doing the introduction. So we're here. Okay, we're here, and Kara's here. So Kara is team coach Rize, right? And we wanted to discuss a couple of things, right? Big things, season recap, talk about the shows, future plans, and a nice little announcement we got planned at the end, right? So
Mhm.
we are starting with you. I want to know how you feel the season went, what stood out to you, good, bad, whatever. And some of your biggest coaching takeaways from the season, and I'll follow up with mine.
So we're going to start with spring.
Yeah, we'll go spring. Let's talk about spring first, and then we'll ride into the fall.
So we
Anything we can remember from spring, considering
it's like
how
going.
how long the year felt. So we going, we're recording, we're going. Who's starting?
All
All right, you want me to start? I'll start.
right.
All right. So in terms of spring, well, actually the whole year itself, but the seasons, I feel like for the most part went well for me. There was a lot of uh, big changes, obviously. So taking over those two shows that we've always so heavily populated, I couldn't coach there. Big conflict of interest. I can't be hands-on. I did none of the stuff that I am so used to doing, all that micromanaging and sheening and this and that. I did none of it. That was a big mental hurdle for me to be able to not have to do that. But having Shauna, Jess Hyatt, Amanda Sensi, Grinnell, Georgie, all those, Rob Kaminsky, obviously, all those people helping out backstage, they either knew the system for years, or they were very quick learners. Plus having Shauna there, obviously, she knows she's been through everything. She's been to all the shows. So I knew I could trust them. I set them up for a win. I tried to stay organized with the protocols. I try to travel to some other shows and coach in that capacity. But at those two, I'm not going to be able to, nor do I even want to try, nor do I think it's fair. So that was just a big, mental hurdle for me this year in terms of those shows.
Yeah, how do you feel about that after reflecting back and not knowing how that was going to go?
I guess I feel relieved. I was nervous about it. I was definitely nervous about it. I see how certain things go. It's like, oh, I never wanted people to feel like, oh, I was just like distant or absent, um, because it's not necessarily the case. I know what distant and absent coaching is like. Between protocols, we started doing Zoom calls, which we had never really done, but I wanted to have that extra talk to them beforehand and tell them how things will go, and stuff like that. Plus, for the show itself, we had the Zoom calls anyway. So
Mm.
as long as things go according to schedule for the most part, any educated coach, which those people are educated coaches, they can enforce my protocols and my word similar to how I would. And if there was anything where they were unsure, they'd come up, ask a quick question to me, and then go take care of it. And they were off, off to the races. So I was worried, very worried at the beginning of the season how that would go. Now that the season's over with, I think it went better than I anticipated.
Well, I can definitely say that having the every detail laid out, having the schedule, having the classes and what to expect laid out in advance made my job a lot easier for sure, and definitely helped significantly on show day. So I appreciated that significantly.
And now so let's rewind back to Northeast Classic. So Northeast Classic, you had a really good day there.
Yeah, it was a really great show for us.
I was solid. I did good there. I was solid at Spring Mania. Spring Mania is where we won both the bikini classes that went in the overall, and then you did the same at the classic.
Right, yeah. So Spring Mania was a team stuff
Yeah, overall.
showdown overall, and then Northeast Classic was a team rise overall,
Yeah,
with Kayla winning the open bikini tall and Meg won the open bikini short. And then they went head to head, and Meg ended up winning the championship ring, which was really amazing.
yeah, that was cool. And then you
Yeah.
also, who else you had? You won the wellness card there too, right?
Yes. And Marion won the Open Wellness Pro card. Our team did really well. And I thought it was really cool to be able to say that we won the first championship ring for bikini.
Yeah.
That was really
Oh yeah,
cool.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. The spring season, it goes well. I feel like there needs to be something a little earlier, another warm up. That's why we're trying to do that Connecticut show. That's why me and Tashay want to. I think that's a good starting point for some people. Not even necessarily a lot of my people, but there's a market to start a little earlier. We got so
Hmm.
much into that habit of like just competing in May, basically just May, or into maybe the first days of June. So it's just something I want to try to, break that habit a little bit, provide more of a path into the Northeast Classic. So that was the idea behind, doing stuff like that.
I think that's going to be a really good idea. I definitely know that a lot of my clients are like coming off the holidays and they're ready. They're like, I want something, that's going to get me excited and get me going. A lot of people feel like that, end of May is a little bit far out. So I think that it's going to be super helpful for a lot of people.
Yeah, you got to get people running. You got to get them running early. Um, what about MASH now? So what do you think were some of the differences between MASH, the feel, you still had you still did really well there as well, right?
Yes, Team Rise actually won the Open Bikini and the Masters Bikini Pro card. So shout out to Kat, and then Kat actually won the championship ring for the
That was
ma
master, right?
Masters. Yep, Masters.
And then she competed on pro day too, right?
Yep, she did her pro debut the next day, and she got fourth, which was really
Okay.
great. Really good after coming off of a 8-year hiatus from the stage. So she
Oh,
had a
I didn't.
killer
Yeah,
season.
yeah, I didn't. Oh, yeah. So what was up with that? I heard that she had competed before, and I did not know.
Yeah, she competed 8 years prior. And actually, this is a fun fact. So she actually had won her pro card 10 years before that at the Monster Mash,
Oh
and
wow.
then won it again for the second time at the Monster Mash 10 years later, 2025.
Okay, so that's okay.
It's a good, great full circle moment. And then the funny thing is, the same thing happened with Meg. Meg had previously won her pro card at the Northeast Classic
Oh damn.
many years ago, many years before, and then full circle moment came back and won it after, having kids and, you know, deciding to come back and give it a go with like a whole new, mentality and outlook and being a mom to two little kids. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
was really
they
cool.
both performed well. That was cool that you brought Meg there with the ring. Throughout
Hmm.
all the stuff, social media, I'm looking at stuff. I was like, wow, it's a good call. Have Meg come with the ring and have them both together with the rings. That was a nice touch. That
Yeah.
was definitely good to see.
I'll have to have them bring it back to Northeast Classic when they're both competing that day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be
So
good.
that was cool. In terms of MASH, I loved MASH. The only big mistake I made was it shouldn't have been 2 days. It shouldn't have been. I could have just got away with it one day. But at the beginning of the year, I knew where I would be number wise. I overperformed what I thought I would be at. But I had people in my ear saying this, that, again, basing things off of the old way. And I made a mistake going 2 days. But once that's set, you can't. you can't change it. It looks weak. It creates, it creates confusion, and certain people book their flights. I didn't want to
Hmm.
get into it, so I just, I called that play. I ran it the best I could. The numbers were solid, but I still could have done it in one day. It would have been a long day. It would have been a long
Yeah.
day, but I would rather have had that long day as opposed to two. But everything else that came out of there, I loved it. I love the feel. The color scheme was great. To have Zach and his wife there at full capacity, um, doing the photos and the video and all the
Mhm.
other stuff.
Yeah, that
I
was
got
really cool.
Yeah, that was great. Sophie always does a great job. I got the camera to work on the riser too, so I got that cool angle I always wanted. The cameras we set up, the pan tilt zoom cameras, all worked out great. And Elizabeth Sloan picked up on that real fast, so she was able to control it. That's the video that we used to do the contestfeedback.com stuff. Plus, that helps with judges' tools and judges' teaching. It helps with other media, other videos you want to do. You have those three angles at 4K. The entire show is videotape. It's a lot of video space. It's a lot of video data, and that stuff. I like that stuff. I think it goes a long way. So for the most part, I think that stuff, went well. There are certain things I want to improve on. Got to find a new venue. We have no choice. We're no longer allowed there. So not that we did anything wrong. It's just they just want quick, easy 4 to 5 hour rentals, not this multi-day setup, high pressure. I wanted to leave there anyway. I really wanted to have one more Northeast Classic there, but I'm gonna have to leave there anyway. But it's stressful right now, but it's probably a blessing in disguise because the next step, in that evolution is atmospheric control. And
Mm,
I don't have that. I didn't have that at that high school. That light board has basically just three functions. If you start playing around too much, lights start flickering. It's yellow light. It's 3200 Kelvin light. I don't like that. I did the most I could with it, but you need to. The next step is atmospheric control. That's what sets a tone. The music is there, the buildup is there, but when you think of WWE, or you think of concerts, you think of big events, what is making you feel like you're immersed in the experience? It's the lighting, it's the fucking flashing lights, and I want to be able to run haze and stuff like that, even though Massachusetts is like, forget
I was
about
gonna ask you if that was coming.
it. They're so strict. They're so strict with everything there. I'm doing my best. I want to do my, if it was up to, if, there's not anything out there that I haven't thought of. It's just
Mm,
the limitations of a venue and rules and regulations. In North Carolina, if I do a show in North Carolina, as long as I don't kill someone, I think we're fine. You can ride in on a rhinoceros and there'd be no problem. It's just in Massachusetts.
fireworks.
Yeah, yeah, I'd have it all. It's in Massachusetts, it's a little rough, and I'm learning how to navigate that. Plus, the public schools get rough. So
Mm,
we're trying to think outside the box. We're trying to find a solution to that, but atmospheric is where I want to focus, and that blended with the music and the way we do things, and Zach and me creating certain spots to create a story. That's it. That's the future.
mm.
Um, Monster Mash. I don't want to take anything away from it because I loved it, but I know what I'm looking for. And Monster Mash and even Northeast Classic, I call it the diorama effect. It's the
Yeah.
stage looks like a diorama. Everything's lit up. There's no layering or depth because I physically can't. If
Hmm.
I try to turn the work lights down, because I want the banners in the back to be darker with some accent lighting. You start turning the lights down back there too much, everything starts flickering. So they're either got to be on it 100% or they're off. So
Mm.
very limiting factors. There's the spotlight wasn't working. Plus, if I turn all the lights on, this happened twice. When I did the halftime video, I turned all the lights off, right? All the lights are off. For some reason, once you turn all the lights off, 2 or 3 minutes in, randomly, a spotlight would just turn on and go right onto the screen. And I'm like, what is happening here? So I know where I have to go. It's not anything I don't know. We made the best of the situation. I still am very proud of it, but I know where I need to go. Now it's just finding a place that I can kind of grow in and mold the atmosphere and the environment to what I'm trying to produce and what Zach is able to capture. So that's really, the next goals. That's what I'm excited for in terms of my looks to 2026 from the promoter perspective, from a team perspective. I don't know. I haven't really changed much. It's just call the play, run the play, do what I'm doing, stay on top of things, tell people how it is, and if they don't like it, then they don't like it. But at least I'm telling them the truth. And if they're not ready for the truth, then I may not be the coach for them.
Well, I just wanted to say I really appreciate how the feel and the look of the two shows was really different. And, Northeast Classic had that really classic vibe, that like very, clean, modern, fresh. And
Mhm.
Monster Mash was
Which
just
is
like
ugly.
wildly different. Just, yeah, just
I said that from day one.
out there.
I said classic was Northeast Classic. Cooler colors, cleaner, sleeker. MASH, I
Hmm.
wanted it to be organized chaos. Like I wanted it to feel, even the medals. Everyone's like, "Oh, I love the medals." I'm like, I think they're ugly, and I purposely wanted it that way. But okay, like I just
Yeah, everyone
wanted
liked those.
that gritty, dirty, like edgier feel. That's
Yeah.
what the whole premise between the Northeast Classic and the Monster Mash was, that bipolarism. And that's why a lot of the marketing became, those two figures. It's like you have this and you have this person. And it's the same, it's a flip side to the same coin, and one is this and the other one is that. And it enables me to do other more creative stuff and more out there promotional stuff that I couldn't get away with the Northeast Classic just by name. You can't do that.
Right.
The Monster Mash is where you could air out some of that edgier, grittier, creativity. So I think for me personally, I think it's a very healthy balance. If I had just
Hmm.
had the Northeast Classic, I don't know. I would feel incomplete. I would. I feel like I needed the two.
Yeah.
Just as if I just had Monster Mash, I would also feel incomplete. It is that distinct bipolarism between the two shows. That the color scheme difference, the approaches. So I think that was, at least very healthy for me. And if it's healthy for me, then I could do my best at what I put forward, and hopefully people liked it.
Yeah. I liked the edginess for sure. I like how definitely like each show had its own vibe, its own feel, definitely dramatically different from each other, and also dramatically different from anything that I've ever seen. Like it was just a whole, like a fresh, clean slate of like bringing in, you know, honoring the old
Hmm.
and keeping that, but then like clean slate it, like freshen it up, give it a facelift and make it feel so much more like modern and
Yes.
more like relatable to the
And
times. Yeah.
it was like I said, it was risky. Northeast Classic, you could do the video approaches that we did were risky because it really hasn't been done. And anyone who's
Hmm.
tried it's been like kind of cheesy, and I didn't want cheesy, but it was very risky. And I say this as a joke, I say it over and over. If I 2 years ago would have said to everyone, "Hey, Nancy is going to give me the Monster Mash, and I'm going to take the Monster Mash, and I'm going to put a mask on, and I'm going to run around in my backyard and take videos to promote it," everyone would have thought I was crazy.
And shoot some guns.
Yeah, yep. But essentially, that is what we did. And even at the
Hmm.
check-in too, which the check-in was great, but it was a missed opportunity, which is really my fault. But we started doing the videos. We introduced Shauna as Haven. And like, side note, like I did text Cara and was like, "Hey, listen, we're kind of going with this name. We're stuck on this name. We have Shauna likes it, anyone we've mentioned it to likes it. So yeah, we're definitely taking a name Haven. Um,
I was
once
like, I
we
love it. Go for it.
once we decided to go with that, it was, do we do this? Do we do like we did at the wedding? Do we set it up at the check-ins that we come in costume, and will people want to take photos with us? And I didn't know. I was a little timid because, again, this was very different. And I set Brian up to do the check-ins, and we got there. We set up our really ragtag, like gross looking backdrop with the nets and the posters with the eyes crossed out. And then we went and we disappeared and we got in costume. And I was like, here we go. We're gonna see if this fucking works. And sure enough, nearly everyone who was there took a photo with us, which is what I wanted. The thing that was
Mm,
amiss was a lot of people don't know the type of photo to take. So it's like we're there, I set up a light, and everyone's like backing all the way up and taking the really wide, and it wasn't the cinematic views that I wanted, and I wasn't the images that I wanted out. And I was like okay with it, but then I talked to Zach, and Zach was like, yo, I will be at check-in next time because he would,
that's a good idea.
right? So the
Yeah.
close, the upward, like he'll be able to capture the mood instead of like, oh, let me go real wide. Okay, got everyone in there. Oh, we also see the lights and we see the hotel. Yep, this is definitely realistic. So that was a miss. Like I appreciated the that everyone did like it, but I can
Hmm.
just in my head, the images of a close-up cinematic, someone like Zach taking the photo, those images are much more powerful and more exciting, and I think that creates a better experience. So we're gonna try to go
Mm.
down that path next year.
I'm bummed I wasn't at the check-in.
Yeah, we're in full. Yeah, we are in full. People asking Sean, is that Ryan under there? It's like, no, who the fuck? I think it went real well, and I know how I am. I do think that this type of stuff is healthy for me. It is healthy for me. I just make sure that the gimmicky stuff doesn't make it too much into show day. I don't want show day to be anything about me.
Hmm.
And I've seen promoters in the past. There was a Long Island promoter who did a lot of themes and leaned into them hard, and that was his own thing, and that was cool until it started taking over show day, and that's I was like, up, you lost me, and
Hmm.
that's what I don't want. People like, oh, you come and dressed up to the show. No, I have to work at the show. I don't want the
Right.
show to be about me. The show's got to be about. I'm trying to just make it exciting up to the point, and then it's like, okay, it's game day now. So I do think it's healthy for me. Um, I think it went very well. It's an avenue I can lean into easy. It's an avenue I don't think many people can compete with me with.
Hmm.
So I'm just gonna stay. I'm just gonna stay in that lane.
I think that's a really fun idea. I mean, if you think about how like competitors usually show up to the check-in like half dead, just
Yeah,
like, feeling like a zombie and just like, just get me to the show already. Like bring an element of excitement, have something for them to look forward to and like be engaging.
something
And I
different.
think
It's just
that's, yeah.
I wanted, the photos. In my head, I know the photos I would have taken. If Shauna was
Hmm.
at a check-in at that, I know the angles I would take. And I was
Hmm.
seeing things way too much through my perspective. And I'm under the mask, and every time someone's like, okay, get in there. And I'm just like, no, no, this is my soul is on fire. But they were happy. As long as people were happy, that's
Right.
all I cared about. But I know that in the future they will be much happier with the approach we're gonna go with. But each time
Hmm.
they're like this, okay, we're gonna go this way, and I'm like, cool. You see the chandelier? It was a good testing ground. It was good that
Hmm.
everyone did want to take the photo because now I can commit better to a quicker, easier, more efficient, more professional backdrop that still looks gritty. I can get it up faster. We're gonna lean into this. Zach, I didn't want to tell Zach like, hey, we're gonna do this, and three people want to take a picture, and I wasted Zach's time. Like
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
I'm I don't want to waste. I wanted to try, and then everyone was taking a photo. I'm sitting there. I'm under the mask. I'm like, I should have just fucking told Zach. I
Right.
should have just told Zach because
Right.
everyone here is taking a photo. So
Yep.
next year we'll do that.
Lesson
Um,
learned.
yeah, next
Just
year we'll do
always
that.
tell Zach.
Yeah,
And since I had worked with Zach in the past previously, I learned that lesson as well. I was like, I don't know, I kind of have this idea. He's like, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Are you sure though? He's like, yes. We're just gonna cover all of it. And so, Zach is amazing. His work is amazing. His eye is amazing. And you guys are such a good duo to team up. I mean, we both know that like social media is plays a big part in everything. So seeing all of the content that's coming out, the reels he's created for the competitors, for those who were smart enough to sign up for those packages,
Yeah.
I mean, they're just unreal,
Hmm.
right? Like you don't look at any of those and be like, oh, that person looks bad. Like it just elevates the whole thing. And you get to see that person in motion. You get to see them hit their poses. It's just such a different thing than just a static photo.
Yep.
And seeing the art of, the movement and the body and the way that he captured it and then also puts it into the reel and puts it with the music. It's just really incredible. And I think that that's something really unique that sets, it sets what you offer apart because other people aren't doing that. And also it's great for that competitor to have that to show.
Yeah.
You, how many times do you see these blurry
Uh,
far away photos with all the judges' heads and, competitors are posting this and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is so bad."
yeah.
And you work so hard for that chance for the 5 or 10 minutes on stage. So why not capture it and have that forever in a really beautiful way that
Yep.
actually showcases all your hard work and shows what you have accomplished?
Yeah, if I was a competitor nowadays, I would definitely pay for because even as a promoter now, I want as much content as possible. I think that's going to be a key moving forward. Which, again, we still have to talk to Zach about this, but I'm sure he'll be fine. But that segues into, basically one of the things that we wanted to talk about here, right? Um, in the past and throughout AMBF, which I really didn't know until I went to some of Kent's shows. Aaron did it. Aaron has it at his show. Bonnie has it at her shows. Is the transformation classes, right? So I've seen them. We've obviously seen them from the shows we've gone to, and I don't know. It's just it's never really been my thing. It's never been something I was really interested in until this year. Started thinking of some things. Me and you talked a lot about, could we do something creative and interesting here? Is this worth trying to do? Um, because a lot of the things came down to what? Like, how do you get new eyes on the sport? How do you provide a gateway to some people who are like, like maybe, maybe not? How do you celebrate people who have had these, incredible journeys and stuff like that? So you and I started bouncing this stuff around, and I then made the decision to start offering transformation classes in 2026. So, as we discussed, things will be a little different. Um, Transformation for what we want to do and we want to offer at these Begic production shows. And again, transformation is non-sanctioned. The promoters get to do transformation in any way that they see fit. Aaron has his own model in Washington for transformation. Kent has his own. The Stage Ready Promotions has their own, and that's fine because it is not a sanctioned class or division.
Mm, right.
We wanted to do something a little different. We made a decision to allow the transformation participants to wear whatever they wanted to wear, whatever they felt they looked good in to wear. They didn't have to wear board shorts. They didn't have to wear a bikini, an expensive bikini. If you lost weight and you look great in this dress, if you lost 20 pounds just to fit in your wedding dress, show up to the show in your wedding dress. Do whatever makes you feel happy and comfortable. Another big thing was we did kind of semi at first want to cap it. We don't want to have it there being too many people. We don't want it being too much time or too much energy at the show designated to this. And that's why we also made the decision we're not going to judge it. I also felt judging it is kind of, I don't want to say wrong. I just never wanted to get into it because I don't know each person's. This is not a sanctioned thing where it's like, I don't care what you had going on. You're on stage, you're being compared to these people. The transformation thing, I don't know. Who am I to judge someone else's journey? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
I'm not going to listen to a story or read an essay and then say, well, this is better than this one. I'm not going to do that. I don't even think at that point that the transformation part should be judged. I think that they should be brought out, celebrated, let them tell their story. We could do it on an audio drop, let them have their own entrance music, let them come out, feel special. Let them hit their poses in what they feel comfortable wearing. We have Zach up there, of course, taking killer photos. Get a nice little video swoop of them. And these people are celebrated. They feel like $1 million. And hopefully they get a look at the sport. They get a look at what it feels like to be on that stage. And then hopefully at that point, they are happy with what they accomplished. They're happy with the photos that they got. Obviously there's always going to be improvement for those transformation people, but seeing more positive photos that they feel, you know, more accomplished looking at,
Mhm.
that hopefully is the gateway for them to improve. So, what do you
Yeah.
think? Where do you stand with this?
I'm excited. I think that this is really a great idea and it's going to be something really different. People aren't doing it in this way. Here's the thing about women. Every woman has that article of clothing, either that LBD, that little black dress, or their wedding dress, or something in their closet that they use as a marker of like, this was what I wore when I felt really good. And they always save it. It's tucked back away somewhere at the back of that closet. And they will use that like, I don't know, maybe if I can ever get back in that dress, or if I could ever fit back in my wedding dress, whatever it is. That is a big thing for women. And I think that allowing them the choice to wear what helps make them feel really confident and comfortable is going to just help elevate that whole experience. They're going to feel so much better. And I also think, not having them have to purchase a blinged out crystal bikini, with all kinds of rhinestones and pay 600, $800, whatever it might be. It's nice to have that lower barrier of entry, so it's not like you've got to invest $1,000 between your suit and your heels and everything. You can literally wear something you already have in your closet and also just feel so much better and feel so much more confident because it's something you're gonna feel comfortable in and it's of your choice as well.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, hopefully, well, that's their decision. They may want to stop at transformation, but some of those people may not be ready for the competition suit, bikini, or stuff like that. They may not be there. They may want to get there someday. This could provide the layer they need as motivation.
Hmm.
Sometimes those people will see the photos of them in their competition suit, and sometimes it could act as a motivating factor to improve. Other times it could be, I don't know, I don't know, this isn't for me, or I don't like how I look, and it could just turn into a little bit of a negative.
Right.
This, I think, gives that opportunity to do that. I'm sure there'll be some criticisms. Oh, we don't want this taking up it won't take up too much time. If anything, sometimes the judges need a little bit of a break. Okay.
Hmm.
And if they're not scoring and we're listening to it, you bring your family, you bring your friends, they want to see and they celebrate you. That's all that matters. Everyone hears your story. You get your photos, you get your video. We're going to design these nice medals for you. Okay. Yes, participation medals, but they'll be nice participation medals. All
Right,
right.
right.
And that's
High
the
and standard
yeah,
participation medals.
yeah. So that stuff will be there and we'll try to create that experience. We don't want this to, and it never will, overtake the competitive part of the show. And like I said, we're not judging it, we're not scoring it. So this way it gives the judges a little to go to the bathroom, eat. they need to be fresh too. If they're not fresh,
Yeah.
then that's going to show itself down the line, as well. Plus, I think it could become a unique and exciting experience that aids the show. I don't think that people should look at this as, oh, this is not competitive bodybuilding or da 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 da, and this is a step backwards. I disagree. I disagree. I think that the way it's being done, if managed on a time, and obviously not rushed, we don't want to rush the people, but if it's managed on time and we're not scoring these people and doing all this other stuff, it could be very efficient, provide a great experience to hopefully more people who want to come in to the sport. And I think it would be interesting for a lot of people in the audience to get that break and to see something different. Like I said, you get
Hmm.
someone who comes out in their wedding dress, the crowd goes wild. There it is. So
Yep.
that's what we're going for here. Still got to get some things ironed out. And that is just the way that the Begic production shows will be approaching, that transformation division. And it's open for men too. It's not just women. Men are in there as well. You could wear what you want. You want to wear the shorts, then go ahead and wear the shorts. You want to come out in a suit, come out in a suit. Whatever you feel works best for you. Tell your story. You get to pick your own entrance music. We'll get all that wired up for you and ready to go. DJ Frank the Tank will take care of that. You come out there, you feel like $1 million. You have your friends, you have your family, you have everyone in there to support you. Get your photos, get your video, and then, the ball's in your court. If you want to advance and progress in the sport, then that's what you do. If that was a bucket list thing and that was enough to get you in shape and get you healthier, then whatever. We did our job anyway, and you had a great experience, and you're on track for a better life anyway. So
Right.
that's how I feel about that. And again, people will have certain feelings about it. I get until they see how it's done, just like with a lot of the stuff I do.
Yep.
So all in all here, you are taking clients for that as well.
I am, yes. I actually created a brand new program specifically for this purpose. It is called the Elevate Transformation Experience because it's an entire experience that I take them through. Because just like you said, every person that is going to get to that stage has their own journey, their own unique set of circumstances, what they overcame to get there. And I love so much, like, it's my passion to help women to help them become the best version of themselves, to help them recognize where they're selling themselves short, where their limiting beliefs are taking over, where they are not showing up for themselves in their life because of maybe something in their past, maybe, their childhood or whatever story they have, associated with their current situation and decided like, this is where I'm going to stay stuck or I'm going to stay trapped here forever. Or maybe I don't deserve to have something better. Maybe this is just what's in the cards for me. And that's just simply not true. You can change at any time. And so, like I said, my passion is to help women to understand that they're putting their own glass ceiling for themselves and they can elevate at any time. They can rewrite their story. They can make a new chapter in their life. And I want to show them the way and lead them down that path. And I love that we've worked together in creating this idea of a way to celebrate and a way for them to have their family and friends and everyone there. And I also love how you mentioned not having it judged because really, how do you judge another person's experience and their journey and where they came from? In the past, I've seen other transformation categories at shows. And I always found it hard because I remember one in particular, there was like a girl who had lost almost 200 pounds, then another woman who had overcame cancer. And you're like, I mean, who do you give it to here? Like, and some people were mad, like, but she almost died and she had cancer. And so, I think everyone deserves to be celebrated. Like you said, everyone has their unique journey. How do you pick which one is better? So I really do love, that setup and those guidelines that we've come up with. And I think this is great too, because I can't tell you how many times I've had lifestyle clients say to me,
Me
"Oh,
too.
I wish I could be one of your competition prep girls." And I'm like, "Well, why can't you?" And they're always like, "Oh, I could never do that. Oh my gosh, they look like this and they're so." Okay, well, what if this is like the gateway drug? This
Yeah,
is like
that's it.
your step in. So make it a lower barrier of entry so you can get your feet wet and recognize you can have that first level of transformation. And then if you want to move on and go and compete in the sanctioned show, you can go for it. Have that be your next level goal. But I definitely want to see, more women being open to testing the waters and really going for it. And I think that it's also helpful when you have that knowledge of like, I have that date that I'm getting on stage,
Yep.
because the one thing that doesn't hold enough, it doesn't hold people to the fire in the lifestyle, client world where they're like, oh, I
Yep.
just
You
want to
push it.
lose 10
Yep. And
pounds.
they push the
Like,
date back.
yeah, like it could be a year. Well, there's nothing really, holding my feet to the fire here, so they just keep pushing it off. And um, having this date and knowing like you're going to get on stage and you're going to have your friends and family there and they're going to be celebrating you, that will also help to like propel them forward and, want them to push and hold them accountable. And I think that that's going to be really helpful too.
All right. Yeah, I agree. I still got some work to do. Got some work to do, but I think it's a good addition. I think it's going to benefit the shows. I think it will benefit the coaches who get involved with it, and I think it will benefit those people who I have those clients too, where they're like, "Oh, someday." It's if
Yep.
they got on that stage and they got the lights and they got the camera on them and they see that at that moment, you'll know right away if it's wow or I don't know if this is for me. And more often than not, it's wow, at least
Yeah.
for a couple of tries. Um,
Everyone says the same thing, right? So initially, not having ever competed and you're getting ready for that first show. Oh my gosh, I'm terrified. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. And you don't know what you don't know. And then you get there and you get on stage and I hear it from every single person. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I love it. I'm hooked. I can't wait to do the next one. And
exactly.
you need to experience it. And then you recognize, like, oh my gosh, that was really cool. And imagine having a celebration for all your hard work and you have all these people and you've got amazing pictures to show. Like, all of that is worth it. It's worth it. It holds you accountable and it's something that's going to really be like fun and different and
Yeah, I
it's going to
like
be
the fun
great.
shit. Like, sorry,
Yeah.
like I'm a serious person, I am, but I like when people are having a good time. I have more of a good time sitting back looking at everyone else having a good time.
Mm,
It was like the wedding. I'm looking around, and everyone's like, "Oh, live in the moment." It's like if I live in the moment, then there is no, it's I'm living the next move ahead because I want this to go well for everyone. Like I want
hmm
this to go well. I want this to be a memorable day for Shauna, her family, my family, all my guests. I want the Easter eggs for each one of these people. If I lived like, oh, just enjoy it. If I enjoyed it, I don't think anyone else is going to enjoy stuff. So
hmm
I am one of those people who I just like to build something. I want to create the experience and I want to sit back and I'll get fulfillment and joy out of other people getting it because I myself, I don't know, I'm just not like that. I like to build the experience. And when I see people telling great stories and I say people, oh, this is an unforgettable experience. I had a great time. You see people laughing, you see people crying. That's the stuff that means a lot to me. I can go through a whole day emotionless. Okay, but I'm taking all that in. And that's a lot of
hmm
the stuff from Monster Mash, you know, that I took in. What we did with the women's bodybuilding, that was very special to me. And to see those girls on stage, like, I didn't expect that. These girls are crying on stage. And I'm like, whoa, this is lightning in a bottle here. This is making
hmm
everyone feel something. So I think we're on to a good thing. I'm going to stay on that path and I'm always gonna try to do, my best. I'm always gonna show up, and I'm intent on being Michael Jordan every day. Like not
Yep.
here and there. I want to be the best every single day, and that's what I'm gonna try to do with whatever it is. If it's transformation, I want to be the best. If it's cinematic stuff for a show and Monster Mash, I want to be the best. And
Hmm.
that's what I'm gonna try to do. So hopefully if I could come close to those goals, then the people involved have a great time and have great experiences that they can remember and tell their family about. And then at least I could, when I do retire from all this fucking crazy stuff, I could sit back and say, you know what? I did always what I said I was going to do, and I did my job. I did it in this point in time, this
Hmm.
snippet in time. I had an impact. All right, so I guess, both have a lot of work to do. Um, both have a lot of work to
Yes.
do. I'm excited for 2026. I'm kind of enjoying that it's not 2026 yet, and just kind of semi sort of relaxing. But thanks for coming on, talk with me, talk with everyone, and I think
Always.
we got some
Always a
some
pleasure.
good stuff for the future.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what the future holds. I think that 2025 was something where a lot of people were looking at it like, I don't know what to expect. It's going to be so brand new. And I think that you showed them, like, I don't just
Now you know. Now
talk
you
the
know.
talk. Yes.
Now you know. I do what I say I'm going
Exactly.
to do.
Yes. And so I think now anyone who was not involved in Northeast Classic or Monster Mash, they are watching and they most likely have FOMO and they were like,
Mhm.
oh, he delivered. He wasn't just talking the talk. And, it's about time that people learn that about you. So I'm excited for 2026 because you have set that precedent. um, my clients were really excited for your shows. They're definitely really excited for 2026. I've got a really strong team coming out for Northeast Classic. And then people who miss the Monster Mash, I can't tell you how many people were like, oh my God, I had such FOMO that I didn't compete or that I wasn't there. And I'm like, yeah, I tried to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's going to be awesome.
All right. So best of luck to you. We will talk, and like I said, it's time to almost time to get back to work.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Take care.